12 Universal Laws of Life, written and published by Ngasline. Life operates according to fundamental principles that shape our experiences, relationships, and personal growth. These universal laws aren't mere suggestions or guidelines. They are the invisible forces that govern everything from our smallest thoughts to our grandest achievements. Understanding and working with these laws can transform an ordinary existence into an extraordinary journey of purpose and fulfillment. The universal laws of life operate whether we're aware of them or not, much like gravity continues to work regardless of our knowledge or belief in it. They affect every aspect of our lives, our relationships, career success, personal happiness, and spiritual growth. By learning to recognize and align with these laws, we can navigate life's challenges more effectively and create the outcomes we desire. This book serves as your practical guide to understanding and applying these timeless principles in your daily life. Each law represents a different facet of existence, offering unique insights and opportunities for growth. From the law of divine oneness that reminds us of our interconnectedness to the law of transmutation that teaches us about personal transformation, these principles provide a framework for understanding life's mysteries and maximizing our potential. The knowledge contained within these pages isn't new. It represents the accumulated wisdom of centuries, drawn from various spiritual traditions, philosophical teachings, and modern scientific understanding. What makes this approach unique is its practical application to contemporary life. You'll discover how these ancient principles remain relevant and powerful in today's fast-paced world. Throughout this journey, you'll encounter real-life examples, practical exercises, and actionable strategies to implement these laws in your daily routine. Each chapter builds upon the previous one, creating a comprehensive understanding of how these universal principles work together. You'll learn not just the theory behind each law, but also how to harness its power to create positive change in your life. As you explore these pages, you'll gain insights into why certain patterns keep repeating in your life, why some goals seem easier to achieve than others, and how you can consciously create the reality you desire. You'll understand the role of energy, vibration, and consciousness in shaping your experiences. Most importantly, you'll discover how to work with these laws rather than against them. This book is designed to be both informative and transformative. The concepts are presented in clear, accessible language, making complex principles easy to understand and apply. Each chapter includes practical exercises to help you integrate these laws into your daily life, along with reflection questions to deepen your understanding. Whether you're seeking personal growth, professional success, improved relationships, or spiritual development, understanding these universal laws will provide you with powerful tools for transformation. This isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about experiencing a fundamental shift in how you perceive and interact with the world around you. As you begin this journey, approach these teachings with an open mind and heart. Experience has shown that the more receptive we are to these principles, the more profound their impact becomes in our lives. Take your time with each chapter. Practice the exercises, and allow yourself to fully absorb the wisdom contained within. The universal laws are always working. Your awareness and conscious cooperation with them will determine the quality of your life experience. Mastering these laws is a journey, not a destination. Each day brings new opportunities to deepen your understanding and refine your application of these principles. Welcome to the beginning of a transformative adventure that will forever change how you view yourself and your place in the universe. Understanding universal laws. The concept of universal laws has fascinated humanity since ancient times, weaving through various cultures, religions, and philosophical traditions. These fundamental principles govern everything in existence, operating consistently and predictably regardless of our awareness or belief in them. Just as gravity affects all objects regardless of their size or composition, universal laws influence every aspect of our lives, from our thoughts and emotions to our relationships and circumstances. These laws originated from diverse sources, including ancient wisdom traditions, spiritual teachings, and modern scientific discoveries. Ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, recognized patterns in nature and human behavior that pointed to underlying principles governing reality. Eastern philosophies, particularly those from India and China, developed sophisticated understandings of these laws through meditation and observation. In more recent times, quantum physics has begun to validate many of these ancient insights, showing how energy, consciousness, and matter are fundamentally interconnected. Universal laws matter today more than ever as we navigate an increasingly complex world. They provide a framework for understanding our experiences and offer guidance for creating positive change in our lives. Unlike human-made laws, which vary by culture and can change over time, universal laws are constant and apply equally to everyone. They operate automatically and continuously, whether we choose to work with them consciously or remain unaware of their influence. The scientific perspective on universal laws reveals fascinating parallels between quantum mechanics and ancient wisdom. Scientists have discovered that at the quantum level, everything is connected through fields of energy and information. This mirrors the spiritual teaching that all of existence is fundamentally one interconnected whole. Both perspectives acknowledge that our thoughts and intentions have real effects on the physical world, though they might use different language to describe these phenomena. Understanding universal laws requires both intellectual comprehension and experiential knowledge. While we can study and analyze these principles intellectually, their true power becomes apparent through practical application in our daily lives. They serve as tools for personal growth, helping us navigate challenges, create opportunities, and develop greater awareness of our role in the cosmic dance of existence. These laws work together as an integrated system, each one supporting and enhancing the others. For example, the law of vibration explains how everything exists in a state of motion, while the law of attraction shows how similar vibrations are drawn together. The law of cause and effect demonstrates how our actions create ripples throughout this interconnected field of energy. Working with universal laws involves developing new habits of thought and action. It requires us to move beyond surface-level understanding to embody these principles in our daily choices. This might mean paying closer attention to our thoughts, recognizing patterns in our experiences, or making conscious choices about where we direct our energy and attention. The practical application of universal laws leads to greater harmony in life, improved relationships, increased abundance, and accelerated personal growth. By aligning our actions with these fundamental principles, we can create more predictable and positive outcomes in all areas of our lives. We become conscious co-creators of our reality, rather than passive observers or victims of circumstance. The law of divine oneness. The law of divine oneness stands as one of the most fundamental universal laws, teaching us that everything in existence is interconnected through an invisible web of energy and consciousness. This profound principle reminds us that our thoughts, actions, and emotions ripple through the fabric of reality, affecting not only ourselves but everyone and everything around us. When we truly grasp this concept, we begin to see life through a different lens. Consider a stone thrown into a pond. The ripples extend outward, touching every part of the water's surface. Similarly, our daily choices create ripples that influence the world in ways we might not immediately recognize. A simple act of kindness toward a stranger might inspire them to help someone else, creating a chain reaction of positive energy that extends far beyond our initial interaction. This interconnectedness manifests in various aspects of our lives. In nature, we observe it through ecological systems where each species plays a vital role in maintaining balance. The same principle applies to human relationships and communities. When we harm others, we ultimately harm ourselves, as we are all part of the same unified field of consciousness. Conversely, when we uplift others, we raise the collective vibration of humanity. The law of divine oneness teaches us to approach life with greater awareness and responsibility, understanding that we are not isolated beings, but rather integral parts of a greater whole, encourages us to act with more compassion and consideration. This awareness can transform how we treat our environment, interact with others, and even how we think about ourselves. In practice, this law invites us to examine our relationships more deeply. Every person we encounter is a mirror reflecting aspects of ourselves, offering opportunities for growth and understanding. When we experience conflict with others, it often reflects internal discord we need to address. By healing ourselves, we contribute to the healing of the collective consciousness. This principle extends beyond human relationships to our connection with the natural world. Every breath we take links us to the trees and plants that provide our oxygen. The food we eat connects us to the soil, sun, and countless beings involved in its production. Recognition of these connections naturally leads to greater environmental stewardship and conscious consumption. Implementing the law of divine oneness in daily life involves cultivating awareness of our interconnection. This might mean taking a moment to consider how our actions affect others before making decisions. It could involve practicing gratitude for the countless invisible connections that support our existence. Even something as simple as mindful breathing can help us feel our connection to the greater whole. Through meditation and contemplation, we can directly experience this oneness. Sitting quietly and observing our breath, we might notice how artificial the boundaries between self and other really are. The air we breathe has been breathed by countless others throughout history. Our bodies are composed of elements forged in ancient stars. These realizations can transform our perspective from one of separation to one of unity. The law of divine oneness invites us to expand our consciousness beyond individual concerns to embrace our role in the greater tapestry of existence. As we align with this principle, we naturally begin to make choices that benefit the whole rather than just ourselves. This shift in perspective can bring profound healing and positive transformation to our lives and the world around us. The law of vibration. Everything in the universe is in constant motion, vibrating at different frequencies. From the smallest atomic particle to the largest celestial body, nothing truly stands still. This fundamental principle forms the basis of the law of vibration, which states that all matter and thoughts carry their own vibrational frequency. Our thoughts and emotions are pure energy, operating at specific frequencies. Higher vibrations correspond to positive emotions like love, joy, and gratitude, while lower vibrations align with fear, anger, and despair. Understanding this concept allows us to consciously shape our reality by managing our energetic state. When we maintain higher vibrational frequencies, we naturally attract experiences and circumstances that match this energy. The physical world demonstrates this law perfectly. Consider a tuning fork. When struck, it vibrates at a specific frequency, causing nearby tuning forks of the same frequency to resonate in harmony. Similarly, our thoughts and emotions create vibrational patterns that influence our surroundings and the people we interact with. This explains why we often feel uplifted around positive people and drained around negative ones. To raise your vibration, start by becoming aware of your thoughts and emotional states. Notice how different activities, environments, and relationships affect your energy. Simple practices like meditation, gratitude journaling, and spending time in nature can significantly elevate your vibrational frequency. Physical activities such as exercise, dance, and deep breathing also help align your body's energy with higher frequencies. Music plays a powerful role in affecting our vibration. Different musical frequencies can alter our mood and energy levels. Classical music, particularly compositions around 430, 2IC has been found to create harmonious vibrations that promote healing and well-being. Similarly, mantras and sound healing techniques have been used for centuries to adjust energetic frequencies. Your environment also influences your vibrational state. Cluttered spaces often create stagnant energy, while clean, organized environments promote clarity and positive flow. Colors, too, carry their own frequencies. Bright, warm colors tend to elevate energy, while cool tones can create calm and balance. The food we consume affects our vibration as well. Fresh, natural foods carry higher frequencies than processed ones. Plants grown in sunlight and healthy conditions maintain their life force energy, which in turn supports our own energetic well-being. Being mindful of what we eat becomes another way to maintain higher vibrations. To implement this law effectively, create daily practices that support higher frequencies. Begin each morning by setting intentions for the day. Choose thoughts and words that align with what you want to attract. When negative situations arise, recognize them as opportunities to practice maintaining your preferred frequency rather than allowing external circumstances to lower your vibration. Changing your vibrational frequency is a gradual process. Start with small adjustments in your daily routine. Pay attention to how you feel throughout the day and make conscious choices to elevate your energy when needed. Surround yourself with people, activities, and environments that support your desire to maintain higher frequencies. Through consistent practice, you'll develop an intuitive understanding of energy and vibration. You'll become more sensitive to the subtle frequencies around you and better equipped to navigate life's challenges while maintaining your preferred energetic state. The law of vibration offers a powerful framework for creating positive change in your life by working with the fundamental nature of energy and consciousness. The law of correspondence. The law of correspondence, often expressed through the ancient Hermetic axiom as above, so below, represents one of the most profound universal principles governing our existence. This law establishes that patterns repeat themselves throughout the universe, from the smallest atomic structures to the largest celestial bodies. What exists in our inner world manifests in our outer world, and what we observe in the macrocosm reflects in the microcosm. Understanding this law begins with recognizing that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs create corresponding experiences in our physical reality. When we harbor internal conflict, we often find ourselves surrounded by external discord. Similarly, when we cultivate inner peace and harmony, our external environment tends to reflect these qualities. This mirroring effect operates continuously, whether we're conscious of it or not. The law of correspondence manifests in countless ways throughout our daily lives. Consider how a person's internal self-worth directly influences their career success, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. Someone who deeply believes in their capabilities typically attracts opportunities aligned with that belief, while those struggling with self-doubt often encounter situations that reinforce their limiting beliefs. This principle extends beyond individual psychology into the physical world. Scientists have observed similar patterns in nature at different scales. The structure of atoms resembles solar systems, the branching patterns of trees mirror human blood vessels, and the spiral of a nautilus shell reflects the shape of galaxies. These recurring patterns, known as fractals, demonstrate the law of correspondence in action throughout the natural world. Applying this law to personal development requires conscious awareness and intentional action. By understanding that our external reality reflects our internal state, we gain powerful leverage for creating positive change. Rather than trying to force external circumstances to change, we can focus on transforming our inner landscape. When we address internal blocks, heal emotional wounds, and elevate our consciousness, corresponding improvements naturally manifest in our external world. Practical application of this law involves regular self-reflection and inner work. Begin by observing recurring patterns in your life. Do you consistently encounter similar challenges in relationships, work, or other areas? These patterns often point to internal beliefs or emotions that need attention. By working on these internal aspects, you can shift the corresponding external manifestations. The law of correspondence also teaches us about personal responsibility. If we find ourselves consistently surrounded by drama, conflict, or negativity, this law suggests examining our own internal state rather than blaming external circumstances. Similarly, if we wish to experience more abundance, joy, or success in our lives, we must first cultivate these qualities within ourselves. Working with this law requires patience and persistence. Just as it takes time for a seed to grow into a tree, Internal changes may take time to manifest externally. The key is maintaining consistency in our inner work while trusting in the natural unfolding of corresponding external changes. Regular meditation, journaling, and conscious observation of both internal and external patterns can help strengthen our understanding and application of this universal principle. Through the law of correspondence, we learn that every aspect of our lives serves as a mirror, reflecting our internal state back to us. This understanding empowers us to create meaningful change by focusing our efforts where we have the most control, our inner world. As we align our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with our desired reality, we set in motion a powerful force that shapes our external experience accordingly. The law of attraction. The law of attraction stands as one of the most widely discussed yet frequently misunderstood universal laws. At its core, this principle states that like attracts like, meaning our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs act as powerful magnets drawing similar experiences into our lives. This law operates continuously, whether we're conscious of it or not, influencing every aspect of our existence from relationships and career opportunities to our overall well-being. Many people first encounter the law of attraction through simplified versions that suggest merely thinking positive thoughts will manifest desired outcomes. However, this law operates on a much deeper level. It responds to our dominant vibrations, which include not only our conscious thoughts, but also our subconscious beliefs, emotional patterns, and energetic frequency. When we truly understand this, we realize that genuine transformation requires alignment between our thoughts, feelings, and actions. The manifestation process begins with clarity of intention. When we clearly define what we want to attract into our lives, we create a focused point of attraction. This clarity acts as a beacon, guiding our actions and decisions toward our desired outcomes. However, simply wanting something isn't enough. We must also believe in its possibility and feel worthy of receiving it. This is where many people encounter blocks in their manifestation process. Their conscious desires conflict with deeply held limiting beliefs. Understanding this law reveals why some people seem to repeatedly attract similar situations, whether positive or challenging. Someone who deeply believes in scarcity will often notice and attract experiences that reinforce this belief, while a person who embodies abundance consciousness tends to discover opportunities and resources more readily. This demonstrates how our internal reality shapes our external experiences. To work effectively with the law of attraction, we must become aware of our current vibrational offering. This means paying attention to our predominant thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. When we notice patterns that don't serve our highest good, we can consciously choose to shift them. This might involve practicing gratitude, visualization, affirmations, or other tools that help align our energy with our desires. Action plays a crucial role in the manifestation process. The law of attraction works best when we combine focused intention with inspired action. When we align our thoughts, feelings, and actions toward our goals, we create powerful momentum. This might mean taking steps that feel uncomfortable or challenging, but these actions demonstrate our commitment to growth and change. The law of attraction also operates collectively. When groups of people focus their energy on shared goals or outcomes, they can create significant change. This explains why community projects, group meditation, or collective prayer often yield powerful results. It reminds us that we're not manifesting in isolation, but as part of an interconnected web of consciousness. Practicing this law requires patience and persistence. While some manifestations may occur quickly, others take time as we align our energy and clear blockages. The key is maintaining consistent focus and faith while remaining detached from specific outcomes. This paradoxical combination of focused intention and detachment allows us to stay open to possibilities we might not have considered. Implementing the law of attraction involves daily practices like meditation, visualization, and energetic alignment. We can start each day by setting clear intentions and maintaining awareness of our thoughts and feelings throughout the day. When we notice negative patterns, We can choose to redirect our focus toward what we want to create rather than what we fear or wish to avoid. Through consistent practice, we develop greater mastery over our vibrational offering and, consequently, our life experiences are life experiences. The law of cause and effect. Every action we take, thought we think, and word we speak creates a ripple effect in the universe. The law of cause and effect, also known as karma in Eastern philosophies, states that nothing happens by chance or outside the universal laws. Every cause has its effect, and every effect becomes a cause for something else, creating an endless chain of events. This universal law operates with mathematical precision, though we may not always see its workings immediately. When you plant a seed, you don't see the tree the next day, but the process has already begun. Similarly, our thoughts, actions, and choices are seeds we plant in the garden of our lives. The fruits may take time to manifest, but they will inevitably appear. Understanding this law empowers us to take full responsibility for our lives. Rather than viewing ourselves as victims of circumstance, we recognize that our current situation results from past choices and actions. A person struggling with health issues today might trace the cause to years of poor dietary choices and lack of exercise. Someone experiencing financial abundance might link it to years of disciplined saving and wise investments. The law operates on multiple levels: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. A negative thought pattern doesn't just affect your mood. It influences your behavior, which affects your relationships, career, and overall life experience. Conversely, cultivating positive thoughts leads to constructive actions, which generate favorable outcomes. Breaking negative patterns requires awareness and conscious effort. If you find yourself repeatedly experiencing unwanted situations, examine the causes you're setting in motion. Are you consistently late for appointments? This habit might be causing stress in your relationships and missed opportunities in your career. By choosing to be punctual, you create a new cause that will yield different effects. The law also works collectively. Companies that prioritize employee well-being often see increased productivity and loyalty. Communities that invest in education witness reduced crime rates and increased prosperity. Nations that promote peace and cooperation experience greater stability and economic growth. Practicing this law involves developing mindfulness about our choices. Before speaking, consider the impact of your words. Before acting, contemplate the consequences of your actions. This doesn't mean becoming paralyzed by overthinking, but rather developing awareness of the causative power we possess. It's crucial to understand that this law operates without judgment. It's not about punishment or reward, but natural consequences. If you touch a hot stove, you'll get burned. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because that's the natural effect of that cause. This understanding helps us approach life with wisdom rather than fear. The good news is that we can create new causes at any moment. If you don't like the effects you're experiencing, change the causes you're setting in motion. Want better relationships? Start being the kind of person you'd want to have a relationship with. Desire more success. Begin taking actions aligned with success. Causes don't always yield immediate effects. Sometimes the lag time between cause and effect can span years or even lifetimes. According to some philosophical traditions, this understanding encourages patience and persistence in creating positive changes. The law of cause and effect teaches us that we are powerful creators of our reality. Every moment presents an opportunity to set new causes in motion. By consciously choosing our thoughts, words, and actions, we can create the effects we desire in our lives and contribute to positive change in the world. The law of compensation. The law of compensation stands as one of the most practical and tangible universal laws, governing the flow of energy, resources, and value in our lives. This fundamental principle teaches us that what we give out into the world will return to us, though not always in the form we might expect. It operates on the premise that the universe maintains a perfect balance of give and take, similar to how a bank account works. Deposits and withdrawals must eventually balance out. Understanding this law begins with recognizing that compensation comes in many forms. When we contribute value to others, whether through our time, effort, knowledge, or resources, we create a vacuum that the universe naturally seeks to fill. This compensation might manifest as monetary rewards, opportunities, relationships, personal growth, or spiritual advancement. The key lies in giving without immediate expectation of return, yet maintaining an awareness that value given will always find its way back. The law of compensation operates hand in hand with an abundance mindset. When we approach life from a perspective of scarcity, we tend to hold back, fear loss, and resist giving. However, those who understand this law know that giving generously, whether it's sharing knowledge, helping others, or contributing resources, creates a continuous flow of abundance. Think of it as priming a pump. Sometimes we need to pour a little water in first to get the flow started. Living in alignment with this law requires us to focus on the value we create rather than what we can get. When we consistently deliver excellence in our work, relationships, and personal development, we naturally attract greater opportunities and rewards. This might mean going above and beyond in our professional duties, being fully present in our relationships, or contributing to our communities without keeping score. The law also teaches us about the importance of energy exchange. Every interaction involves an exchange of energy, and maintaining healthy boundaries ensures this exchange remains balanced. This doesn't mean we should never give freely or help others without expectation, but rather that we should be mindful of creating sustainable patterns of giving and receiving in our lives. Practical application of this law involves developing awareness of how we contribute value to the world. Start by identifying your unique gifts, skills, and resources. Consider how you can use these to serve others more effectively. Pay attention to the quality of your work and interactions. Are you giving your best? Are you creating value that benefits others? These questions help align our actions with the law of compensation. Consider also the various ways you receive compensation in your life. Beyond monetary compensation, notice the intangible rewards, the satisfaction of helping others, the joy of creating, the peace of mind from doing good work. These forms of compensation often prove more valuable than material rewards. To work with this law more consciously, begin with small acts of giving. Share your knowledge freely, help someone without being asked, or create something valuable for others. Notice how this shifts your energy and creates new opportunities. Be patient with the results, understanding that the timing and form of compensation may differ from your expectations. The law of compensation operates impartially and inevitably. Just as nature maintains perfect balance, this law ensures that energy, value, and resources flow where they're meant to go. By understanding and working with this principle, we can create more abundance, satisfaction, and positive impact in our lives and the lives of others. Through conscious application of this law, we participate in the natural flow of giving and receiving that sustains all life. The law of gender. The law of gender represents one of the most fundamental principles governing the universe, extending far beyond biological sex into the realm of energy, creation, and manifestation. This universal law recognizes that everything in existence contains both masculine and feminine energies, regardless of physical form. These complementary forces work together to create balance and harmony in all aspects of life. Masculine energy embodies qualities such as action, logic, direction, and forward movement. It represents the doing, analyzing, and protecting aspects of existence. This energy drives us to set goals, make plans, and take decisive action. In contrast, feminine energy encompasses qualities like receptivity, intuition, nurturing, and creativity. It represents the being, feeling, and flowing aspects of life. This energy allows us to connect deeply with others, trust our instincts, and remain open to possibilities. Understanding and working with these energies can transform our relationships, career, and personal growth. When we recognize that both energies exist within us, we can better navigate life's challenges and create more fulfilling experiences. For instance, in professional settings, Successful leadership requires both masculine qualities like decisive action and feminine qualities like empathy and collaboration. In relationships, partners who understand and honor both energies can create deeper connections and more balanced partnerships. Many people struggle with imbalances in these energies due to societal conditioning or personal experiences. Someone might overemphasize masculine energy, always pushing forward and doing, while neglecting their need for rest, receptivity, and emotional connection. Alternatively, another person might lean too heavily on feminine energy, remaining passive or overly accommodating while struggling to take decisive action or set boundaries. The path to balance involves conscious awareness and intentional cultivation of both energies. This might involve a typically action-oriented person learning to slow down, listen to their intuition, and allow things to unfold naturally. Conversely, someone who tends to be more passive might need to develop their ability to take action, make decisions, and assert themselves when necessary. In creative endeavors, the law of gender teaches us about the gestation period required for manifestation. Every creation, whether a project, relationship, or personal transformation, requires both masculine and feminine energy. The feminine aspect receives the inspiration and nurtures the idea, while the masculine aspect takes action to bring it into physical form. Understanding this process helps us work more effectively with natural cycles of creation and manifestation. Practicing self-awareness allows us to recognize when we're out of balance and take steps to restore harmony. This might involve meditation, journaling, or energy work to connect with both aspects of our nature. It could also mean examining our relationships and professional life to ensure we're expressing and honoring both energies appropriately in different contexts. The law of gender reminds us that true power comes from integrating and balancing these complementary forces within ourselves and our lives. When we embrace both our masculine and feminine aspects, we become more whole, authentic, and effective in all areas of life. This integration leads to more harmonious relationships, greater creativity, and a deeper sense of personal fulfillment. The law of perpetual motion. The universe exists in a constant state of motion and change, operating as an ever-flowing river of energy and transformation. The law of perpetual motion teaches us that nothing in life remains static. Everything moves, evolves, and transforms continuously. This fundamental principle affects every aspect of our existence, from the cellular level of our bodies to the grand cosmic dance of galaxies. Understanding this law helps us navigate life's inevitable changes with grace and wisdom. Just as the seasons shift, relationships evolve, and circumstances transform, we must learn to move with these changes rather than resist them. When we embrace this perpetual motion, we discover that change becomes our ally rather than our adversary. The growth mindset lies at the heart of this universal law. By recognizing that we are always in a state of becoming, we open ourselves to endless possibilities for development and transformation. Every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, contributes to our evolution. The challenges we face today shape who we become tomorrow, making each moment an opportunity for growth and learning. Consider how nature exemplifies this law. Trees shed their leaves in autumn, rest during winter, burst with new life in spring, and flourish in summer. This continuous cycle demonstrates how movement and change are essential for survival and thriving. Similarly, our lives flow through various phases and transitions, each serving a specific purpose in our personal evolution. Resistance to change often creates suffering, while acceptance and adaptability lead to peace and progress. When we understand that change is not just inevitable but necessary, we can approach life's transitions with curiosity and openness rather than fear and resistance. This shift in perspective allows us to harness the energy of change rather than being overwhelmed by it. Practical application of this law involves developing flexibility in thought and action. Start by observing the natural changes in your daily life, your emotions, energy levels, relationships, and circumstances. Notice how these elements are constantly shifting and flowing. Practice accepting these changes without judgment, understanding that each transition serves your growth and development. Creating habits that support personal evolution becomes essential. Regular self-reflection helps you recognize patterns of change and growth in your life. Physical movement, whether through exercise, dance, or simple walking, connects you with the natural flow of energy and motion. Engaging in continuous learning keeps your mind active and adaptable to new ideas and perspectives. Building resilience becomes easier when we align with this law. Instead of seeking permanent stability, we learn to find balance within motion. This might mean adjusting our goals as circumstances change, modifying our approaches when needed, and remaining open to new possibilities. The ability to pivot and adapt becomes a strength rather than a source of stress. Relationships also benefit from understanding this law. When we recognize that people and connections naturally evolve, we can nurture growth-oriented relationships rather than trying to maintain static situations. This awareness helps us support others through their changes while honoring our own evolution. The law of perpetual motion reminds us that life is a journey of continuous transformation. By embracing this principle, we can move through life with greater ease and understanding, knowing that each change brings new opportunities for growth and development. As we align ourselves with this universal flow, we discover that the very nature of existence is change itself, and our ability to adapt and grow becomes our greatest strength. The law of relativity. Everything in life is relative to something else, and our experiences gain meaning through comparison and context. The law of relativity teaches us that nothing in life holds inherent meaning until we assign it through our perspective and comparison to other things. What might seem like an insurmountable challenge to one person could be a minor obstacle to another based on their experiences, skills, and mindset. This universal law reveals that our perception shapes our reality. When facing difficulties, we can shift our perspective by comparing our situation to different reference points. For instance, someone dealing with a job loss might initially see it as a devastating setback. However, by viewing it relative to other life experiences or comparing it to those facing more severe hardships, they might recognize it as an opportunity for growth and positive change. Understanding the law of relativity empowers us to consciously choose our reference points and, consequently, our emotional responses to life events. Instead of measuring our success against others' achievements, we can focus on our personal growth journey. This shift in perspective helps eliminate unnecessary suffering caused by unfair comparisons and allows us to appreciate our unique path. The law also teaches us about the relative nature of problems and solutions. What works for one person might not work for another as circumstances, resources, and capabilities differ. This understanding fosters empathy and prevents us from making judgments about others' choices or situations. It reminds us that everyone faces challenges relative to their own experience and capacity. Consider how wealth is relative. A middle-class income in one country might represent extraordinary wealth in another. Similarly, happiness isn't absolute, but relative to our expectations and previous experiences. Someone living a simple life might experience more contentment than a person with abundant material possessions, depending on their perspective and values. The law of relativity encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. When facing difficulties, we can ask ourselves, relative to what I've already overcome, how significant is this challenge? What skills and strengths have I developed that can help me navigate this situation? This perspective shift transforms obstacles into stepping stones for personal development. Practicing gratitude becomes more meaningful through the lens of relativity. By comparing our current situation to past challenges or less fortunate circumstances, we can cultivate genuine appreciation for our present moment. This doesn't minimize our struggles, but helps us maintain a balanced perspective and emotional resilience. The law also applies to personal achievements and goal setting. Instead of measuring success against abstract ideals or others' accomplishments, we can focus on our relative progress from our starting point. This approach celebrates personal growth while acknowledging that success looks different for everyone. To apply the law of relativity effectively, observe your thoughts and reactions to various situations. Notice when you make automatic comparisons and consider whether these serve your growth and well-being. Practice consciously choosing empowering reference points that motivate and inspire rather than discourage. Every experience offers an opportunity to shift perspective and find meaning through relative comparison. Through understanding and applying the law of relativity, we develop greater emotional intelligence, resilience, and compassion for ourselves and others. This awareness helps us navigate life's challenges with grace, while maintaining a balanced perspective on our journey of personal growth and transformation. The law of polarity. The law of polarity teaches us that everything in the universe exists in duality. There cannot be an up without a down, light without darkness, or good without bad. This fundamental principle helps us understand that seemingly opposite things are actually different expressions of the same phenomenon, just at different ends of the spectrum. When we truly grasp this concept, we begin to see life's challenges and experiences from a more balanced perspective. Consider temperature as a simple example of polarity. Hot and cold aren't separate entities, but rather different degrees of the same thing. This principle applies to our emotions, experiences, and life situations as well. Success and failure, love and hate, peace and chaos. All these apparent opposites are intrinsically connected. By understanding this connection, we can learn to navigate life's extremes more effectively. This law provides profound insights into personal growth and emotional well-being. When facing difficult situations, remembering that every negative experience contains the seed of its opposite can help maintain hope and perspective. If you're experiencing financial hardship, for instance, this challenging period contains within it the potential for abundance and financial wisdom. The key lies in recognizing that these opposing forces exist simultaneously and using this awareness to your advantage. The law of polarity also teaches us about balance and the middle path. While extremes exist, we don't have to live at either end of the spectrum. Instead, we can learn to find equilibrium between opposing forces. In relationships, this might mean finding the balance between giving and receiving, independence and interdependence, or speaking and listening. In personal development, it could involve balancing work and rest, discipline and flexibility, or structure and spontaneity, Practical application of this law involves consciously shifting our perspective when faced with challenging situations. When experiencing something perceived as negative, ask yourself, what is the positive aspect of this situation? What opportunities for growth exist here? This practice helps transform obstacles into stepping stones for personal evolution. The law extends beyond individual experiences to broader life patterns. In business, economic cycles of boom and bust demonstrate polarity in action. In nature, we see it in the changing seasons, day and night, and the ebb and flow of tides. Understanding these natural rhythms helps us align with them rather than resist them. Working with the law of polarity requires developing awareness of these dualities in our daily lives. When you catch yourself making absolute judgments about situations or people, pause and consider the opposite perspective. If you're feeling stuck in one extreme, recognize that its opposite must also exist, and begin looking for ways to move toward a more balanced state. Exercise this law by observing your thoughts and reactions throughout the day. Notice when you label experiences as purely good or bad, and challenge yourself to find the opposing aspect. Practice gratitude for both positive and challenging experiences, understanding that each serves a purpose in your growth and development. Through conscious application of the law of polarity, you can develop greater emotional resilience, better problem-solving abilities, and a more balanced approach to life's challenges. Every situation contains both positive and negative aspects, and your power lies in choosing where to focus your attention and energy. The law of rhythm. Life moves in cycles, ebbs and flows, just like the tides of the ocean and the phases of the moon. The law of rhythm teaches us that everything in the universe operates according to specific patterns and natural cycles. Understanding and working with these rhythms can help us navigate life more effectively and create greater harmony in our existence. These rhythms manifest in countless ways throughout our lives. We experience them in our sleep, wake cycles, seasonal changes, emotional states, and even in our productivity levels. Just as nature has its seasons, our lives have periods of growth and rest, expansion and contraction, activity and reflection. Rather than fighting against these natural cycles, we can learn to recognize and flow with them. When we understand the law of rhythm, we become more patient during challenging times, knowing that difficult periods will eventually give way to better ones. This knowledge helps us maintain perspective and resilience during downturns while remaining grounded during periods of success. The key is to avoid becoming too attached to any particular state, recognizing that change is inevitable and necessary for growth. The concept of flow states is deeply connected to the law of rhythm. These are periods when we feel completely immersed in what we're doing, experiencing peak performance and satisfaction. By understanding our personal rhythms, we can identify the optimal times for different activities and align our efforts with our natural energy cycles. Some people are morning persons while others peak in the evening. Some are most creative during quiet solitude, while others thrive in bustling environments. Working with our natural rhythms extends to all areas of life. In relationships, we experience cycles of closeness and distance, each serving its purpose in maintaining healthy connections. In business, markets move through cycles of expansion and contraction. Even our creative processes follow rhythmic patterns of inspiration, development, and completion. The law of rhythm also teaches us about timing. Sometimes success depends not just on what we do, but when we do it. By observing and respecting natural timing, we can make better decisions about when to take action and when to wait. This might mean launching a project during an upward cycle or taking time to rest and recharge during a natural downturn. To work effectively with the law of rhythm, start by becoming more aware of the cycles in your own life. Notice patterns in your energy levels, moods, and productivity throughout the day, week, and month. Keep track of when you feel most focused, creative, or social. Use this awareness to schedule important activities during your peak times and allow for rest during natural lows. Resistance to natural rhythms often creates struggle and frustration. Instead of pushing against your natural cycles, learn to work with them. If you're feeling low energy, perhaps it's time for rest rather than forcing yourself to be productive. If you're feeling highly motivated and energetic, use that momentum to tackle challenging tasks or initiate new projects. The law of rhythm reminds us that life is a dance of cycles and patterns. By understanding and flowing with these natural rhythms, we can create more ease and effectiveness in our lives. We can learn to trust the process, knowing that each phase serves its purpose in the greater pattern of our existence. This understanding brings patience during challenging times and wisdom in how we approach our goals and aspirations. The law of transmutation. The law of transmutation represents one of the most powerful principles in personal development and spiritual growth. This universal law teaches us that energy can be transformed from one form to another, including our thoughts, emotions, and circumstances. Just as scientists understand that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only changed in form, this principle applies to every aspect of our lives. Consider how water can exist as solid ice, liquid water, or gaseous steam, while remaining fundamentally shu. Similarly, we possess the innate ability to transform our life experiences, emotional states, and personal circumstances through conscious awareness and directed intention. This process begins with understanding that everything in our experience is essentially energy in various forms of expression. The art of transmutation involves learning to consciously direct and transform lower energies into higher, more refined forms. For instance, anger can be transmuted into determination, fear into courage, and confusion into clarity. A prime example is the story of John, a former client who struggled with intense anger issues that were destroying his relationships. Through practicing transmutation techniques, He learned to recognize the raw energy of his anger and channel it into passionate advocacy for causes he believed in, ultimately becoming a successful community organizer. This law operates continuously in our lives, whether we're aware of it or not. When we learn to harness it consciously, we gain the ability to transform challenging situations into opportunities for growth and learning. Take Sarah, an entrepreneur who faced bankruptcy during the economic downturn. Instead of succumbing to despair, she transmuted her financial challenges into motivation to develop an innovative online business model that ultimately proved more successful than her original venture. Practical application of this law involves several key elements. First, we must develop awareness of the energy we wish to transmute. This requires honest self-observation and acknowledgement of our current state. Next, we consciously choose the higher form we wish to manifest. The final step involves actively directing our attention and intention toward this transformation. One powerful transmutation technique involves breathing exercises combined with visualization. When experiencing a challenging emotion or situation, breathe deeply while imagining the energy as a specific color. With each exhale, visualize this energy transforming into a new, more beneficial form. For example, visualize dark, heavy energy of stress transforming into bright, golden light of peace and clarity. The law of transmutation extends beyond personal emotional states to physical circumstances. Many successful individuals have used this principle to transform seemingly negative situations into stepping stones for growth. Consider how many successful businesses were born from identifying problems and transforming them into solutions. Every challenge contains within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit when viewed through the lens of transmutation. Working with this law requires patience and persistence. The process of transmutation often occurs gradually, like the transformation of a caterpillar into a butterfly. Each small step of conscious transformation builds upon the previous one, creating momentum toward positive change. Regular practice of transmutation techniques strengthens our ability to direct energy consciously and creates lasting positive changes in our lives. By understanding and applying the law of transmutation, we gain access to an incredible tool for personal growth and life mastery. This law reminds us that we are not victims of our circumstances, but rather powerful creators capable of transforming any aspect of our experience into something more aligned with our highest good. Apply it in your life. The universal laws that govern our existence work in perfect harmony, creating a symphony of life that continues to unfold in miraculous ways. As you've journeyed through each law, you've discovered how these principles interweave and support one another, forming a complete system for understanding life and your place within it. Now it's time to bring these teachings together and implement them holistically in your daily life. Living in alignment with these universal laws requires conscious awareness and consistent practice. Begin by observing how these laws manifest in your daily experiences. Notice the law of divine oneness as you interact with others, feeling the deep connection that binds all living things. Watch how the law of vibration influences your emotional state and the energy you project into the world. Recognize patterns through the law of correspondence, understanding that your outer world reflects your inner reality. Create a personal practice that incorporates elements from each law. This might include morning meditation to raise your vibration, mindful action throughout the day to honor cause and effect, and evening reflection to recognize the rhythm and cycles in your life. Your practice should feel natural and aligned with your unique path rather than forced or mechanical. Integration happens gradually, layer by layer. Start with the laws that resonate most strongly with you, then progressively incorporate others as your understanding deepens. You might find yourself naturally drawn to certain laws during different life phases. This is perfectly normal and part of your personal evolution. Take time to document your journey through journaling or creative expression. Record your observations, insights, and experiences as you work with these laws. Notice how your perspective shifts, your relationships deepen, and your ability to manifest positive outcomes increases. This documentation serves as both a learning tool and a source of inspiration when you face challenges. Consider forming or joining a community of like-minded individuals who are also studying these universal laws. Share experiences, support each other's growth, and learn from different perspectives. The collective wisdom of a group can accelerate understanding and provide accountability for maintaining your practice. Working with universal laws is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be times of profound insight and rapid growth, followed by periods of integration and seeming stillness. Both are equally valuable parts of the process. Trust in the natural rhythm of your development and stay committed to your practice, even when progress feels slow. As you continue to align with these laws, you'll find yourself becoming more masterful at navigating life's challenges and opportunities. Your intuition will sharpen, your decisions will become more aligned with your highest good, and your ability to create positive change will expand. You'll discover that these laws aren't external rules to follow, but rather internal truths that guide you toward your fullest expression. The power to transform your life lies in the consistent application of these universal principles. Each small step you take in alignment with these laws creates ripples of positive change that extend far beyond your immediate experience. By living in harmony with these laws, you become a conscious co-creator of your reality and an inspiration to others on their own journeys of discovery and growth.